Everybody welcome liquor girl when she dropping. She taking on the world when the topics. This girl is a problem.
Yeah.
Hit that like button if you feeling that. Show her some respect, she gon' send it back. Everybody welcome liquor girl when she dropping. She taking on the world when the topics. This girl is a problem.
Yep.
Hit the like button if you feeling that. Show her some respect, she gon' send it back. Facts.
Representing Lakers World Order.
Laker Girl 36. Good evening, everybody. This is your girl 36. And I have my co-host, Preacher Band, and we have a special guest. We have former NBA championship, former NBA player, and a commentator for UCLA, Tracy Murry. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How are you this evening?
I'm good. Good. How are you?
I'm good. Excited for my Lakers tonight. Yes. Let me see. Preach, you want to start out with a question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. How you doing, Tracy?
How's it going, Brandon? How are you?
I'm blessed, man. Blessed to be here. Good talking to you, brother.
Good talking to you too.
I'm so happy that you're gracing us with your presence, man, tonight.
Oh, no problem, man. No problem.
Yes,
Anytime.
sir. Yes, sir. I followed your career. You were 90s, to the 80s, and I watched your game, man. Kind of like your game evolved over time. And, for me, that I come from the 90s, I was born in 1980. So I've seen a lot of basketball centered around Michael Jordan. And us, with the 90s basketball was different from today's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And, I watched your career over time. And for me, I noticed, because you were a guy that, you had pretty much the 3-point shot in your game. You had the 3-point shot in your game. And my question to you is, because like I said, you was deadly. You were clutch when they needed to be clutch, depending on how many time they had left on the clock. Hey, it was time for Tracy Murry to go to work. You know what I mean? And so for me, the question I have is what did you do to, because I noticed there was a season where you was just going off. I think it was like 17 points per game or something like that, to where you perfected your game. Like what season did you know, like, yeah, I'm stepping up. I'm pretty much coming into my own?
Well, it was going into my fourth year with the Toronto Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time that I feel like I was on equal ground with everybody around me.
Okay.
The first year, first couple of years, 2.5 years, I was with Portland.
Right.
I was sitting behind Clyde Drexler, Jerome Kersey, Clifford Robinson, Terry Porter, Mario Elie, Harvey Grant. So, it's like there was a young guy couldn't develop behind that. We didn't have a G League back then.
Okay.
So I was just sitting on the bench wasting away. Then I was traded to Houston with Clyde Drexler, where we won a championship at.
Okay.
There, we're playing for something. You got guys that are trying to repeat, so they don't have time to incorporate a new young guy.
Right.
Playing behind Robert Horry, Chucky Brown, Mario Elie, Clyde Drexler, so Vernon Maxwell. So there's so many established players on those teams.
Right.
After that year, the expansion teams came in. You had Vancouver and Toronto. And with me going to Toronto, we're basically everybody nobody wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
yes, sir.
we with the exception of the draft picks, Damon Stoudemire and Jimmy King.
Right.
Yeah, everybody else was okay, you know, they were either unprotected or free agent and looking for new opportunities. So we're all on level ground. So it was whoever wanted, go get it.
Okay.
So it was one of those things where I was sitting at home during training camp, and they were in training camp. So
Right.
I didn't join the camp until about 2 days before the first game. But I came in there in shape. I was really aggressive because when you come into an expansion situation, it's fair for everybody. There's, you know, throw the ball up, somebody go get it. So I was in a go get it mode. I was no one was knocking my door down for free agency.
Okay.
So I was coming in there hungry. I was coming in there reproving myself to, you know, let people know that I belong in the league.
Okay.
So I was motivated.
You was motivated. You put in the work pretty much.
Extremely motivated. I got in the best shape of my life. And it was the first year I probably didn't care what people thought of me. I just went and hooped.
You just went and played basketball.
Went and hooped. Yep.
And I think that's what it's all about. Like when you come into your own and you know what I'm saying, you develop that game to where you just relax. You know, you put away all, you know, your rookie year, you start playing basketball, you develop a craft that everybody knows that's Tracy Murry. You know what I'm saying? That's his game. And I saw that, you know, being from the 90s, I could just tell the clutch shots, you know, you were clutch and you know you had your go-to moves. I was like, yeah, that's, you know, he put in work. You can tell a player when they put in work. And I just, you know, commend you on that. You know, knowing your craft and
yeah, I think the first thing, you know, for somebody to be successful and last in the NBA, you have to know who you are.
right.
I'm not a guy that's going to be flying around the gym dunking on everybody all the time.
Right.
I will occasionally I'll do it, but that's
Right.
not my game.
Right.
If I happen to put the ball on the floor and I have a step, then I'm gonna go do it. Especially in the 90s, if you go to the rack soft in the 90s, you're gonna get taken out.
You're gonna get knocked down. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to get to the rack aggressively, and maybe they'll let you go, but or if they jump, it's going to be a poster.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, and so you got to know who you are, and
Right.
and so I very much knew who I was. So mid-range shots, pull-ups, step backs, three-point shots, pump fake, one bounce dribbles. That was me. Post-ups, fadeaways in the post.
Fade away. Yeah, you had to fade away in your game too. Yeah.
Right. That was all me. If I went right, I shot a jump hook. Sometimes it was up and unders. So I knew who I was. I knew I wasn't gonna, you know, overly impress people with my speed or my jumping ability. So I had to use my brain.
Right. Kind of like what Mike did when he got older. He played for the Wizards. You know.
Right. Got to play chess.
Right.
You know, you can't play checkers and last long. Right. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Now, my question for you is how was your experience in being on the Lakers coaching staff?
The Lakers coaching staff was a different type of experience. It was the year that you had like an unbelievable amount of young guys on the team. And we had Kobe's last year, which was the farewell tour.
Right.
So it was cool being able to coach Kobe after being a teammate of his.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you as a coach, you really, really appreciate somebody like him.
Right.
Because he's going to work every day. He's going to hold everybody accountable to work. Even though he wasn't there every day that year because his body just wasn't going to work. You know, he was hurting so much that he had to pick and choose when he played, when he practiced, you know, that type of thing. He had to save it for he had certain games that he really wanted to play in.
Right.
And those are the ones that it took a few days to get his body ready to go. He was always in good cardiovascular shape, but it took a while to, you know, whether it's, you know, whatever treatments that he had to do to get his body right.
Ice baths. Yeah, I know.
Everything that he had to do to prepare to play, man. It started at the beginning of the week. If he had one game, say he wanted to play against the Warriors, and it's circled, and it's a Friday night game. I'm pretty sure it took, from Monday all the way through to be ready to hit the floor because he's had a lot of injuries, man. And he wasn't young anymore. So Father Time always wins, but
it does.
I mean, it was cool to be able to be on the staff with Byron, who's like my big brother.
Byron Scott, yeah.
Oh yeah, and then you had his son Thomas Scott. You had JJ Outlaw, who was a ball boy for us in Washington when he was a little kid. Now he's a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Larry Lewis, who I grew up playing against. He's an LA native. Mad Dog was our Mark Madsen was our teammate.
Yep, he was a player too. Yeah, he's a player. Right, Mark Madsen.
Yeah,
Mad Dog.
So he was a coach on that staff as well. And then the special coaches was AC Green and James Worthy. They came in from time to time to add their expertise. And when
that's
they
rich.
came in,
that's rich having them there.
When they came in, it was a little live when they came in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's rich having them there, man, because they gonna, hey, they the classic, Lakers fast break, AC Green and James Worthy, man, them guys.
Yeah, even though they're full of knowledge and they take the game extremely serious, they were also extremely funny.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, AC Green, I can imagine.
Oh, both of us, James too. Worthy was hilarious too. So, those guys come in, and I just have to bite the bottom lip to just keep from laughing because they always just see something funny. And then when I see the two of them walking towards me, I'm like, oh no, I hope Byron don't see me laughing over here. But Paul Pressey was Byron's, head assistant, and Paul was funny too. But I mean, talking about Byron and Paul would give me a lot of knowledge. They gave me the opportunity to be more than just a shooting coach.
Right.
They gave us opportunities to scout games. They gave us the opportunity to sit in coaches' meetings and learn. So they wanted you to be more than just what you were pigeonholed to be. So,
they wanted to absorb. They
wanted you to grow.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want you to just stay in your role. They wanted you to grow as a coach.
Right.
So shout out to them for giving us that opportunity to grow.
Right.
You can go ahead.
And then the 60-point game, at the end.
Of course. Of course.
I mean, let's talk about that for a second.
Of course.
I started off working.
Right.
And then started cheering. It's like I went from coach to former teammate wanting him to do good to a fan. I just wanted to see him do well, and he went out the way he should have went out.
Yeah, he did.
That was
he did. It was great. He went out graceful, man. He's one of them players. Kobe was one of them players that he went out gracefully. He chose his way to go out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He chose his way to go out on top of the game. I mean, he could have stayed. Really, he could have really stayed. I mean, it averaged, 20-something points. He was that. Because a lot of people say he took what Mike had and made it. You know what I'm saying? He put a little on it. You know what I mean?
But when to stop though.
Yeah, you have to know when to stop the play.
Your body tells you when, and his body told him. He was. If you can't go out there and play 85% of the games, it's time to walk away. And he picked certain games that he wanted to play because that's what allowed his body allowed him to play that many games.
Not to break down, right.
Right. So it was cool being around. Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Definitely missed. Number, man.
No doubt. Yep.
Another question I want to have is for you, this is kind of like the same question. Your career over time, when you worked with, when you were in the NBA, kind of like Kobe, transitioning to when he knew it was time. And my same question to you, playing in the NBA, when did you know it was time, getting into that end to where it was going to become, retirement after you, like you knew?
It's time when the injuries start piling up. When it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
It's not fun to play hurt.
Right.
You can't get out there. You can't be as competitive as you normally are.
Can't move
You want to
around.
get out. Yeah, you want to get out there and compete. You have pride. You want to play to the best of your ability. You don't want the fans talking about, man, he needs to hang it up.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go out there and give your best at all times. And when injuries start piling up and you lose a step or you're afraid to make the same moves you used to make because you think you're going to pull or pop something,
Mm-hmm.
that's when it's time to stop.
Okay.
And I was done at a high level. I was the last cut of the Knicks in 2004.
Right.
So I got cut because I pulled my doggone hamstring.
Mm.
I was.
I had that happen to me. Yeah, I had that happen to me before. It hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I pulled my hamstring. They had 15 guaranteed contracts. I was on my way of forcing them to make a move to get rid of people because I was playing that well in training camp.
Mm-hmm.
And I pulled my hamstring, and at that point, it's like they're just waiting on me to get healthy now so they can release me because they already have 15 guaranteed contracts. So that's what ended up happening. I became healthy. I started playing again. I wasn't playing at the level I was playing at before I got hurt.
Okay.
Now I get let go. So I played another 3 years over in Europe.
Okay. Yeah, I
and
remember that.
I did that basically just to see the world, man. See the world, see how other cultures live, see how the EuroLeague is and what the competition is like over there.
That's where I played at. I played overseas in the EuroLeague.
Where'd you play at?
Bob Love for the Italian Red Dogs.
Okay.
Italian Red Dogs. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I got an injury.
I played for Panathinaikos in Greece and PAOK in Greece and Ilan Chalon in France.
Oh man,
Yep.
you was blessed. That was France. I heard it's beautiful.
Yeah, France was cool. I was in a smaller city there.
Smaller city, Tableau's a smaller city.
The fans were really passionate and they really loved their team.
A lot of water.
Yeah, a lot of water. I really enjoyed, my time with my teammates because over there is different than the NBA. NBA, you have your own hotel room on the road.
Right.
Everybody just kind of hanging out with their own peoples and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And over in this, you have roommates over there on the road, and it's
overseas
cool.
It's more open.
It's like college.
Yes.
So it was cool to get to know my teammates a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't one of those guys that was like thought I was too good to have a roommate. So I enjoyed getting to know some of my teammates over there. They're really good people.
Wow. That's so you're well traveled around the world.
Oh, absolutely.
Well traveled. And that actually enhances your game too.
You see, put it this way, the best coach I ever played with was with Panathinaikos. It wasn't anybody
NBA.
over here.
Yeah, it wasn't NBA. Yeah.
It wasn't NBA, it wasn't college, it wasn't a high school. It was Obradovic, man. Obradovic is one of your best coaches.
Best coaches, yes.
He's a legend over there, bro. And some of the things I learned from him is like, wow, how come I didn't see it that way when I was playing over here?
Yeah. And also the Euro basketball is the European, like the Europeans, they're more fundamental than the NBA is more fit. The NBA is more physical. The European
and athletic.
Yeah, and athletic, but the EuroLeague is the more fundamental with the passing. Like Dirk Nowitzki, now you're seeing
cutting,
cutting with Jokic coming from overseas and Dirk Nowitzki, Serbia. They're more so they're bringing that to the NBA. Now the NBA is kind of like catching up with the Euro. We're kind of catching up and with the Euro step.
My comment to that is we're playing their style of play.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they can come over here and get jobs because they know this style of play.
Right.
And I think it was done by design because the NBA wants to get the world's best players.
Yes.
So if we play their style and they come over here and they succeed, it's going to attract more people. Right. So that's why you're seeing an overinflux of foreign players coming over here taking jobs because they feel comfortable playing in this system. There's no ISOs. There's no pick and roll 2-man game on one side where two people got to move their feet. Now the ball is moving from side to side. Everybody's moving, downhill penetration pitch. That's their game over there because they're great. They're great at reading the game.
Yes. Yeah. And that's where Ginobili and them, like I said, with the Spurs, it was, Ginobili, like I said, Nowitzki, and now you've seen it with Luka.
Stojakovic, Turkoglu, all of them.
Hedo Turkoglu, right.
Yeah.
Out of Turkey. It's a open, market now, the NBA, like you said. So, for somebody like me to play the game semi-pro, it was an experience.
You played overseas, bro. You played pro.
Yeah.
Don't discount yourself.
Yeah.
Don't discount yourself. You got paid to play this game. You were pro.
Okay. But
respect.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But Laker girl, did you have a question?
My second question is, what is the first thing that came to your mind when you played with the Lakers?
No.
First thing that came to my mind was when I was coming to the Lakers, I was happy to be home. I had a bittersweet situation. I had played in Toronto for 1 year, loved it up there, signed a deal with Washington, and it took like 5 or 6 years to get back to Toronto. And I didn't want to leave. So the only place that it would be cool to leave was if it was the Lakers. And I was sad to leave, but happy it was the Lakers because I got to play, for the home team. But a lot of crazy things happened during that time. Chick Hearn died that summer. Shaquille had a toe surgery, which put him out for a while. Rick Fox got in a fight with Doug Christie. He was suspended for a while. Devin George was getting hurt. And, it was a lot of things that was happening at the beginning of the season. And through all of that, I wasn't playing. I was fresh off of an arthroscopic hip surgery. So I wasn't really playing either. I chose to go in training camp. I chose not to sit out and strengthen my hips up. I chose to go play. So I'm starting behind too. So at that point, I was just hoping that everything can come together and it end in a championship, and it never did. So my Laker year was kind of bittersweet, to be honest with you. I didn't play very much being at home, and we didn't win a championship. So I had a bittersweet Laker situation. Love the teammates, though. My teammates were really cool. We had fun a lot. My teammates, we had fun with each other. Mm. That championship team had some special dudes on there. Brian Shaw, Robert Horry, Shaq, Kobe, D. Fish, Devin George, Maki, Mark Madsen, Brian. Who else? There was tons. I came in with Kareem Rush and Gennaro Pargo. So we had some dudes on that team that were champions. We were able to join them for that year, or and for those young guys, they stayed for a couple of years. But just being with them, you saw the confidence, the swagger. Yeah. They knew that, if we're healthy, we're gonna go in and win. It just caught up to us because we're trying to do something historic.
Special.
We're trying to win 4 in a row, which is nobody's ever done it.
Nobody's ever done that.
Right. So it was tough. It was tough. It was hard to do.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, it was tough. And like I said,
we met up against a tough San Antonio team, and that started their reign. They went
on they had that was a tough team that, like I said, I don't know what year was that? David Robinson.
It was the Tim Duncan. Manu was just coming in. Tony Parker was young.
Was Kawhi there? A young Kawhi?
No, not yet.
Okay, Kawhi wasn't there.
Yeah.
But even Ginobili.
Yeah,
but even Ginobili was Ginobili.
The core unit of guys was there. They just had to plug a couple of people in before that.
Yeah, just slide them in the right positions.
I think David Robinson might have been on this last year or so there.
Who's that?
David Robinson might have been.
Oh yeah,
in this
David
last
Robinson.
year.
Yeah, because and the Twin Towers itself, he still had that midi. David Robinson still had that little mid range and the hook that he was tough down low.
You had 2
coming off the
7-footers,
bench.
man. 2 7-footers that was dominant. So,
You just
yeah.
And Tim Duncan played. You can slot him in power forward and center.
Yeah,
it didn't matter. The big fun.
And you couldn't keep Tony Parker out of the paint.
Yeah.
So Bruce Bowen was defending, hitting corners.
Defensive player of the year. Bruce Bowen, right?
Yeah, you had some guys there. Jaren Jackson was there. You had some guys that
he was tough. Captain Jack.
Mario Ellie was there too.
Wow.
So you had some guys that was there that were winners, that were champions on other teams that knew how to win.
Houston Rockets, Mario Ellie. You're right.
Yeah. That was my team. He was my teammate in Portland and Houston. So
and he was
Mario,
and
shout
he was
out
clutch.
to Mario. He's a winner.
Yeah, and he was clutch too. He would hit those little kind of push shots. He was shooting
death 3 against Game 7.
Yeah.
Yep.
Straight to Houston. Yeah. Game 7, man.
Yep.
And he was
death 3. Yep.
Yeah.
In the corner. Yep.
Yeah.
Mario was clutch. And we know how clutch Robert was.
Oh, big shot Bob. Yes.
Oh yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
7 championships, man.
Absolutely.
7.
Absolutely. Everywhere he went, he won.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That is just
But
this
is what people don't understand about Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he hit a lot of big shots. Yes, he has 7 rings, but he sacrificed
a lot. Yes,
for
he did.
those 7 rings.
Yeah, he did.
He wasn't trying to shoot a lot of shots. He played defense. He rebounded. He took a minimum shots, but he made sure he had that one in the chamber if needed.
Yes, he did.
He was the ultimate glue guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He was the trick of the trick of the trade. Yeah, he was the trick of the trade.
He was a lottery pick my year, 92. He was a lottery pick.
Yeah, 1992.
So he could have done more, but he played his role, man. So you have to give him his credit because he could have done more.
Yeah, he sacrificed.
But he sacrificed for the sake of the team winning. So that's what people have to do, in order to win championships. And he's a winner.
Yeah, he actually told a story where he was in under Danny Ainge. I'm pretty sure you heard the story too.
I knew all about it.
Yeah, he told a story, but he was a defensive player. He could block shots. He could do it all.
Yep.
He would rebound. Whatever you needed him to do, he could do. And I think when he came to the Lakers, if we needed him to score, he could shoot the 3. He could defend. He could defend different positions. Yeah. And hey, I'm glad we got him.
Yeah, I mean, in the playoffs with Houston, his defense on Karl Malone and his defense on Charles Barkley, to be long, quick hands, quick off the floor, able to block shots, alter shots. He did an excellent job on those 2 guys for us to win in those series.
Right. I hear you. Did you have another question, Laker Girl?
Yes. Can I get your thoughts on this current Lakers team? What do you think Lakers need to do to win a championship?
I don't see it this year. Until there's one person leading the team, it's not going to happen. It's got to be one person that is the guy on the team. Right now they have 2. So which one is going to take over the game when the game is on the line? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if all of the pieces are there yet.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Is Luka going to do the heavy lifting and LeBron bring him home? Or is LeBron going to do the heavy lifting and Luka bring him home? I don't know how that dynamic is going to, play itself out. Mm-hmm. When you got OKC and Houston in the Western Conference, it's kind of hard to say the Lakers are going to win.
Right. And another thing is also,
and you got to watch Dallas too.
Yeah, Dallas, and they got a lot of defense. They're built around defense with 3-point shooting. Kyrie,
And they have pieces. They
yeah,
have
Kyrie,
pieces.
yeah,
Yeah.
Kyrie, and also I wanted to say when you mentioned LeBron and Luca, like somebody has to take the back seat. You say
Right.
is it
Right.
whose team is it?
Whose team is it?
Is it
Yes.
LeBron's
Whose
team
team is
still? Is it because when we had AD, when we had Anthony Davis, LeBron was I would say he was trying to say, hey, AD, you got to lead. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? But there were times, and no shot to AD, he would get hurt sometimes, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so LeBron would, and then when AD's out, guess who got to step up? It was
Mhm.
LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron had to step up. He had to be the one to,
And
initiate the
here's
offense.
another thing, and it's no shade to LeBron, man, because
Right.
LeBron's, his career and his legacy is cemented of what he did. Um, when you're as great as LeBron is, are you going to take a backseat? You know what I'm saying? Because at 40, what
40
is it?
going to 41.
He's still getting all-star numbers.
Yeah,
I mean,
25, 8, and 8.
forget being voted in.
Yeah.
That's the fans voting you in. Forget being voted in. Coaches are still going to put him in because of how effective he is on the court. Still,
Right.
he's still getting 25, 8, 9 rebounds, 8, 9. He's still doing that at
Mm-hmm.
his age, which is unheard of, right?
Right.
So if you're still doing that and you have a high basketball IQ, how are you going to yield to somebody else?
Yeah, it's hard,
It's
right?
hard, bro. It's
Yeah.
hard because you still got it.
Yeah, coach used to call them old heads. My coach used to call them old. He used to call people basketball players like that old heads that just
And
they
I
still
never
got
took it
game.
personal. Never took
Yeah,
it
they
personal.
still got game,
Yeah,
but they
yeah,
just
yeah.
they're not used to yielding to a younger, talented franchise
And
player
this
like Luka.
old head still got it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what
It's
I'm
not
saying.
like he's an old head that ain't got it no more. It's just this is different.
Yeah.
So it's hard when you got it to kind of say, all right, young fella, go ahead and let me sit back here. It's
Mhm.
hard, bro. It's hard.
Yeah, and I think he needs to take a page out of Kobe's book, as far as not to retire, but just to, you know, you need to pick games, get healthy, let Luca lead the team, and then you kind of just, you know what I'm saying, you be that player to where you kind of whichever kind of Luca is the wind, whichever the way the wind blows, that's the way you go. You know what I'm
This is
saying? And
the
just
first
be
time. This is the first time you really saw LeBron out though for a
yeah,
long period of time, right?
yeah, for it's like
Like he's
sciatica.
normally,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
sciatica. Yeah.
and that trust me, that hurts.
Yeah.
Anybody's had
My
that,
daughter's
that
got that.
hurts.
My daughter's got
It,
that at age
bro, it
18.
hurts.
Yeah,
It
age 18.
hurts.
It
Yeah,
goes up the
it
back.
hurts.
It's a nerve. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That hurts. It will bring you to your knees. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's not an easy thing to play with. So this is the first time you've really kind of seen him. He may miss a game from time to time because he need rest because he's been carrying the squad, at that age.
Yeah, 40
You
at one
know,
point,
right,
right?
right, right. So, that was mostly because of rest. It wasn't because of he was out. This is the first time he's really been out from injury because he takes care of his body. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, yeah. So that's the only reason. It's like they're still a couple pieces away. I think they're a couple of defenders away, but just that who is the alpha?
Hmm.
The alpha dog is, when the game is on the line, the alpha dog brings you home.
Hmm.
And I can't see LeBron being off the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if he was off the ball, I think that would be a new dynamic to his game. Like kind of like playing like Ray Allen used to do in the 90s. He used to come off the screens and they can run screens and
Yeah,
LeBron
but
door.
they're two different guys though. You
Yeah.
can't LeBron ain't gonna be running off no screens. You
Right.
might want to throw it to him on the block where he has a power advantage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he
You
actually
know,
did that. He actually did that
yeah,
that one year for us. He remember he played center and they ran him off the block. He was playing center for us and he was just killing people down low. But it takes a
right,
lot. It takes a lot out of him being almost age 41,
yeah,
banging with those power forwards and those centers. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I wouldn't want to use him. If I'm just saying, if I would just have him just kind of move around to see if Luca can find him. You know what I mean? Kind of have him go off curls and just move it out the ball. Because I think at 6'9", 250, 260, however, how much he weighs, There's not gonna be nobody that's gonna stop you going to the basket.
And then there's some other things to talk about. How is Aiden going to fit in?
Oh
What
yeah.
What's Austin Reeves going to do? How is he fitting into the play? Is he going to have to take a step back in his development? You had guys that were injured last year that's coming back and getting into the fold. So, it's like some of the guys, it's like, how is this going to work?
Right.
And are they the right pieces?
Yeah.
They lost my man to Houston. He was a nice little
Dorian
piece.
Finney, and he wasn't healthy. I heard his ankle, or he had some surgery, minor surgery going on, to where he wasn't
But
healthy.
he was a good piece for the Lakers, and
Yeah,
they lost him.
Well, he used to play with Luka in Houston. I mean, in Dallas.
Yeah, he did.
So when he left, it was like, I was like, wow, maybe he felt like he could, be a better fit somewhere else, or
get
what I mean.
That bag.
Yeah, he wanted to get paid, and I can't blame him for that. But
can't get mad, no.
But I felt like
that's another thing, as long as you got two guys getting these max deals, it's like you can't pay for anybody else to come help.
Right.
So you don't have any money to get some decent people in there that you need.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like. I think when the NBA changed to, the first, they got the first, then the second. You can't, as far as buying and going over the cap, salary cap, and the tier and stuff like that. I think it restricts a lot of teams for what they can do. But I mean, I know why they did.
You gotta be willing to go over the salary cap if you want to win. Those who win championships go over the salary cap. They're willing to pay their players. They're willing to keep everybody together. That's how you win. Those who won, I guarantee you they're over the salary cap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you saw a lot of teams do that, like the Golden State Warriors. You mentioned Spurs. I think the Houston OKC did it. Yes, they just did it.
They just did it.
So the Lakers, we got this new owner too. So I think, he's willing to spend money. I think a championship is around the corner. But how do you feel about that Laker girl?
Honestly, I feel like the Lakers are one or two pieces away, but I believe this season. I know the season starts tonight, but I have faith in my Lakers.
Definitely. Did you have another question? Because I was going to ask him something, to where.
No, I just have those three questions.
Okay, I wanted to ask you one more thing, Tracy.
In the chat has any questions?
Okay, you want to check the chat?
Let me see. I think the only person who had a question was Major. Major said, "Does he remember?" We have a question from Major. Major said,
the 64 points on Melo. Yeah, I mean, what was crazy about that game was Melo Atherton was there the year before and lost in the state championship. So they were able to rally up and come back and make it their game. Yeah. So do you really think they're going to let a first-time person come up in there and win? They were loaded, bro. They had everybody. Yeah. They had two twin guards. They had a 6'5" athletic guy, Tebow Williams. They had a 6'5" future Dallas Cowboy, and they had a 6'7" guy, and then their bench was solid. You had me, and you had J.J. O'Loughlin, who was our quarterback to our football team. And he was just a good athlete. I mean, he can play basketball. He can play baseball. He can play football. When he got low bridged in the first quarter, and I knew that he couldn't help, I was like, all right, it's I got to go try to win it by myself. And that proved that no one person, can beat a good team. So 64 points was historic, but I took that L that night.
guess another question I wanted to ask you as far as your accomplishments about you winning the championship with the Houston Rockets
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
that.
that was a bittersweet situation too, because I came in with Clyde. They were established. Clyde was the piece that was missing for them that they wanted. I was still young and unproven and wanted to be a part of it. They put me on the injured list,
Mhm.
and I could not come off the injured list. You can come off the injured list now, but back then you couldn't come off the injured list. So
Right,
I was
right.
stuck there in street clothes throughout the whole run.
Mm.
So it was the hardest thing for me to sit there and watch. But at the same time, how can I contribute to this team? Well, I'm going to be the best Brian Russell. I'm going to be the best Dan Marley. I'm going to be the best Dennis Scott.
Mm.
Whoever I was on the scout team, whoever I was, who they were focusing on in the small forward area,
Right.
I was going to be better than them.
Mm-hmm.
I was going at them in practice, which, if you go at them and you do better than what they're doing, then they're going to be prepared for something, right? They're going to be prepared for the games are going to be easy. I wanted to challenge the guys and make it a little bit harder in practices so the games will be easier.
Right.
So that's how I contributed to it.
Mm. And that was special. And another thing that was special was that 50-point game that you had in Washington, man. I watched that game, man. You was going off. He was hitting everywhere, man.
You see right down there where it says ask him about the 64 points in Menlo Atherton.
Uh-huh.
It was the same arena. It was Oracle.
Okay.
Oracle.
Yeah.
Oracle Arena is a shooter's arena, man. And you're wondering why Steph was shooting crazy there. You wonder why Clay was shooting crazy there. You wonder why Chris Mullins and Mitch Richmond shot crazy there.
First Splash Brother, right?
Yeah. It was a Run TMC, man. It was a shooter's arena. So I felt real comfortable because I had a 64-point game there, and I was coming in fresh off of the 3-point shooting opportunity. I only did it one time. But when you go to that situation, you're a part of All-Star Weekend, you feel like an All-Star.
Right.
So you come in with a different swag in the second half of the season, and that was the first game back. There were a bunch of guys hurt for Golden State. We had a gang of guys hurt. We only had 7 players in uniform. No Chris Webber, no Jawan Howard, no George Mirasan, no Tim Legler. I mean, there's a lot of people that were out.
Did Ross Strickland play for y'all that year?
Yes. Yeah, Rod. Yeah.
Ooh,
We came in.
Hey, he was sweet, man.
We came in at the same time. I played 6.5 years with Rod Strickland. I played my first 2.5 in Portland, and I played my last 4 in Washington. My 4 in Washington with Rod. So, yeah, we're good friends. We're like brothers, man. And he had a monster triple-double that night. I know.
That's why I mentioned Rod Strickland because, man,
we were cooking on a different level that night.
The moves that he had, man, and being the defender, man, with him coming down court, he could turn left, he could turn right, spin on you, lay the ball up. He was that good with either hand.
And he finishes on everybody. It don't matter who it can be. Shaq, it can be Mutombo, it can be Mourning, it can be every shot. He'll find a way to get that thing. He's got that New York City. You can't
swag.
Teach you can't teach the type of stuff that he has, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. One of the best guards, the most unsung guards. He is every favorite player's favorite player, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Everybody that was a star, Rod was their favorite player.
Rod Strickland. I hear that a lot. And I'm Cincinnati and some NBA players I know as Nick Van Exel, Ruben Patterson. And we always talk about Rod Strickland, man, as one of the point guards that doesn't give enough credit and you played with him. So and then you come into the Lakers.
I saw everything, bro. I saw it for 6.5 years. I saw some incredible things out of Rod Strickland, bro. Like he would kill all the all-star guards. Kill him, bro. Kill him.
And I don't understand why he wasn't. He never got to, like I said, win a championship or anything like that. But I
Well,
don't
I
think.
mean, all that is just pieces around him.
Yeah,
You know what I
pieces.
mean?
Yeah, it was
It's
always
pieces
pieces.
around him. Yeah, it's pieces around him, and then you're wondering why he didn't make an all-star team. He didn't play the game, man. He wasn't playing the politic game. You know what I mean? He's just a hooper, bro.
Just a
He wasn't
hooper.
gonna play yeah, he didn't play the politic game.
He just wanted to
So
play basketball.
just wanted to hoop, bro. Just wanted to hoop.
Mm.
Yep.
One more question I want to ask you is just real quick. When you were drafted,
Mhm.
you know, in 1992, what
Mhm.
team was you hoping drafted you?
Well, I'm gonna tell you some promises that were lies.
Okay.
Houston told me they were going to take me at 11. We know they took Robert Ory, so they lied to me.
Yeah.
Clippers told me they were going to take me. They took Randy Woods, so they lied to
okay.
me.
Yeah.
And the Lakers took Anthony Peeler, and they told me they were going to take me if I was available as well. So
Yeah.
that was the lie.
And he played for the Lakers, and you had
Right.
a better career than he did.
Well, I mean, it's relative, man. I mean, it was who was fitting at the time under the coach's system.
Right.
You know, it was all relative. You know, I thought Anthony played well with that team, with that particular team. You know,
Yeah,
he
three
had
point
opportunity.
shooter. Yeah.
Right. He did a couple of things with that team. He played decent with Minnesota. You know, it's just a matter of who believes in you and how they use you. You
Okay.
know, so you know, and there are some people that be like, well, shoot, Tracy Murray, he had a hell of a high school career. He played great at UCLA, and he was a disappointment in the NBA.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it's all relative.
Yeah.
It's all relative because I had my best year as a pro in Toronto because that coach knew how to use me. And I was and the
fit.
team and my teammates I had better chemistry with. Right.
The fit. It was the fit. It was all
Right.
about the fit.
So
Right.
I even played well in Washington because Rod Strickland and I had chemistry. We knew how to play with each other. I had great chemistry with Chris Webber. Great chemistry with Ben Wallace and Calbert Cheney and Juwan Howard. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about who you with and how they believe in you and you believe in them and your chemistry. Everybody's that good in the NBA. Right. Everybody's that good. They were stars on their high school teams. They were stars on their college teams. Everybody can't be a star.
Right.
Though if I was to constantly try to be the star, I wouldn't last 12 years. At all. I was trying to be a star. I was almost out the league in 3 years.
Wow.
I had to understand what my role was.
What your fit was, right? With role.
They wanted me to stick my ass in the corner,
shoot threes,
and keep my man with me, and play out of that corner. The only time I really got to play was floppy. You know, the screen downs and you come off.
Downs,
yeah, that's the only time I really got to play. You know, so it's all relative. It's entertainment, man, and those who put asses in seats and sell jerseys.
Right.
That's who the fans want to see go off. Right. They don't want me to go off. I got 20 people in the stands. Right. They got 16,000 that they done put up in there and they're wearing their jerseys, right? So it wouldn't make sense for Tracy Murray to go off for 25, 30.
But you could have done it. You had that talent.
Everybody's got that talent though.
Yeah.
You know, especially in the 80s and 90s, everybody could score.
Everybody could score.
Yeah, everybody can score. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, who is going to be a star in their role? And I found my niche of being the sixth man, and I just took pride in being the best I could as a sixth man.
And that's
no doubt, Mission 24. I'm a Pasadena kid myself. I grew up in the Bulldog basketball camp. I grew up in the Pasadena Boys and Girls Club. I grew up at Jackie Robinson Center. I grew up in Villa Park, Victory Park, Lincoln Hammond, Lincoln Loma Alta, Lincoln Washington. That was all me. I grew up around the Rose Bowl. That's where I grew up. So doing something for Pasadena kids was something that, I grew up in Michael Cooper's camp. So,
right.
Glendora.
Glendora
Was further. I was a Pasadena kid. Glendora,
Okay.
I went to high school at Glendora.
Right.
My parents moved out of Pasadena to Glendora. So that's how
Okay.
Glendora came into the play.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I probably would have been going to John Muir with Stacey Augmon and Wayne Womack and
Plastic Man.
and Daryl Scott and Kurt Wagner. Who Daryl Scott went to San Jose State. Stacey Augmon, you know what he did.
Yes.
Wayne Womack went to Arizona. Then you had a bunch of other dudes. Eric Cooper was a tremendous athlete. Leroy McCullough was a tremendous athlete. Derek Brown was a great point guard.
Wow.
Purvis Polk was a great backup point guard. Man, you had so many dudes on that team. Kurt Wagner went to Kansas. So you had so many dudes on that team, man. And I think I would have fit in just right because they needed a shooter. That would have been me. That would have been another 6'7" guy. Shoot, Kurt Wagner was 6'7", Daryl Scott 6'8", Stacy 6'8", Wayne 6'8". So we would have had that, and then the 6'5" athletes that I was talking about with Eric Cooper and Leroy McCullough, and then you had a point guard. You had a 6'3" backup point guard and Derek Brown, who was about 5'10", but he had that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, Pasadena, and shout out to. Everybody I grew up with. My brother grew up there too. He did his thing in college and
USC played at USC.
Yeah, USC, Louisville. He was in the CBA. He had tryouts with Indiana and Toronto. He did the Globetrotter thing, and he just said, "Forget it. From this point forward, I just want to help kids." So he stopped chasing and just he now Prodigy is been in existence for over 25 years now, and now we have Prodigy Prep as a school. So he's still putting along, giving back to the kids, and I donate my time there until I have to start working. UCLA is about to start back up, so now some of my time is going to go to them. But I mean, I spend most of my time. Our kids are in Prodigy Prep as well, so they're it's cool. I had 15 years of basketball camps that I did at Glendora High, and the kids that were coming from Pasadena were all scholarshiped.
Okay.
So I took care of the Boys and Girls Club kids. I took care of, whoever needed scholarships to come out to my camp. So, Leroy Boys Home, I took care of them up the street in Laverne. They put their, their Boys Home kids up in the camp too. I just wanted to provide, a place where if whatever message that I sent in that camp, maybe it resonated with some of the people, and maybe it helped them.
That's special, man.
Somewhere.
Yeah, the same thing with me is, me and my wife, we do foster care. We adopted 4 foster kids, and we have 7 kids total. So I want just to hear that, just giving back to the kids and something special.
We owe. You know what I mean? We have to pay it forward. We have to.
Right, pay it forward.
It even if it's just it doesn't have to be monetarily. It can be knowledge. It can be time. Time is more valuable than money any day. The time that you spend with people and giving them knowledge and giving them an advantage maybe over somebody else that may not know the stuff the jewels that you're giving them, that gives that person that advantage in the world. Right. So
knowledge is power, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You just try to pay it forward and help people. Shoot, if you can make a phone call for somebody and let them in the door, you do that. That's just what we're supposed to do. I don't think we do enough of it nowadays.
Exactly. Just to hear you say that. Also, wanted to mention your cousin, man. We got to mention Lamont Murray.
Absolutely.
He was deadly.
He was a killer.
He was
a killer.
Oh my God, Lamont Murray, man. I can remember games where he just took the whole, he was unstoppable. He was and
big, strong, athletic, shoot it, post up, dunk on you. He played 13 years, man, and he was Cal's all-time leading scorer when he left Cal. So he made his mark up in the Bay Area, and I made my mark down here. Me and Cam made our mark down here. The Murrays are known in California for hoop.
Oh yes,
When you mention hoop and family names, you're gonna listen. You're gonna say the Berries. You're gonna say the Millers, Cheryl and Reggie. You're gonna say the Murrays. You're gonna say the Baileys, Toby and Moose Bailey. You're gonna say the O'Bannons. You're gonna say the Holidays. You're gonna say the Balls. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna say the Cottons. You know, it's like there's some, you know, family members out there that, you know, it's just tradition. It's just keep going. Like you saw the boys in my family. In my family, you know, Lamont's brother Marcus played at University. Yeah, he played in New Orleans. So, you know, it ran in the family. We came from our dads. It ran in the family. Now behind us, you know, you had Lamont Murray Jr. play at Pepperdine. Got a tryout with the Miami Heat. Then he decided to go in the military. Now my son went into the military. He's a medic in the military right now. So he wasn't really an athlete like that. So he chose what his path is. But now you got Cameron Murray Jr. coming. He's a sophomore. Yeah, he's a sophomore at Damien. He's coming. You got Kayla Murray, who's top 10 in her class. That's my niece. That's Cameron's daughter. Okay. And then you got my daughter Malia. My daughters Malia and Tiana coming up. Malia's 13. Tiana is 11. So now you got
legacy
one more
generation.
Boy. Yeah, you got one more boy and 3 girls coming.
Wow.
You know, so hoop is just in our blood, man. It's in our blood.
Yeah, leaving their print on the game, man. Leaving their print on the game. The Murray legacy. Like I said, because you both were blessed, man. Like I said, Lamont and then y'all both had that golden touch, man, where y'all could hit clutch baskets.
And Lamont's daughter was a collegiate star in volleyball. Ashley played volleyball, so she played for Long Beach, and then she transferred and played with Florida State for a year. Did a graduate transfer to Florida State, so she did her thing in volleyball. So, you know, we have a family full of athletes, man. My dad just went into the Pasadena Hall of Fame last summer. Past summer. That's crazy. You know, he's just, you know, the things that he did. He was a 9-time letterman, man, and he lettered baseball, football, and basketball 3 years in a row. You know, and that's something that pretty much unheard of back then. You know, like he was a tremendous athlete. It wasn't just a hooper. I mean, his name is up in the top of Blair High School, where he went to high school at. So he did his thing too. You know, our family, you know, the legacy is cemented when it comes to, you know, what we've done in the game.
Sports, right. Did you have anything else, Laker girl?
Like I just say is we're gonna wrap this interview up. And Tracy, I just want to thank you. And my auntie Charlene told me to tell you thank you too.
No problem. Tell Charlene I said what's up. And thanks for having me on.
I'm rooting for my Lakers tonight.
Look at her, she's locked in. Is the game on? Is the game on yet? Because she looked like she's locked in.
I'm locked in. I'm ready.
Hey, it's gonna be starting soon. But
right. Well, enjoy the game. Enjoy the season. And I do hope they do well. My analyst side, I'm always analyzing. Right. Because of being an analyst, I'm always going to analyze. So
right, and then playing the game also.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, I do radio for UCLA. I'm on ABC 7 for NBA, the Slam Dunk Show with Michael Cooper and Norm Nixon and Rob Fukuzaki. So I'm always going to be an analyst first. You know, I don't look at it through a fan's lens. I look at it through my analyst lens. So, you know, as a fan, grew up a Laker fan, hope the Lakers always do well. You know, hope, you know, they're the home team.
Put that championship up, 18 banner.
Right. Exactly. We always hate the Celtics.
Oh yeah, no.
We already
we don't say that name right here.
We hate the Celtics now.
Right.
No, but thanks again for having me on, y'all.
Anytime.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I thank you for gracing us with your presence and coming on the show, man. It's been a blessing, and I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, take care.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Preacher, I just want to thank you for coming on.
Oh, no problem.
Let's go Lakers tonight.
Definitely. Lakers all day, man. Let's get a win. Start off the season in positive.
Have to.
Yes,
you got to start off on the winning side.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Salute.
Hey, Laker girl.
Yes.
What happened to old boy showing up?
You're still live. Hold on one second.
Okay.